place that is haunted. Right from the start, dear, built on an acre of sand.
Welcome back to our podcast. Thanks for joining us. I'm Zada.
And I'm Kelly. And you're listening to
Two Sides and the Truth. So this week we have a special guest with us once again. The first guy, is he the first guy? Oh, Eddie. I mean, not Eddie. I just did that because that's
you cannot remember
Eric.
Poor Eric.
No, Eddie was the guy I was just talking about that was sitting here. So that's what's in my head. Other than Eric, I don't know if he counts as a guest.
He was technically a guest in here. He just didn't talk.
Yeah, he was the guest
he
that
just
didn't
said
talk. Yeah. So our guest this week is DJ ALEXX.
Yay!
I feel like I want to say it like you say it on your thing. DJ ALEXX.
I don't think it's him that says
That's my ex-wife that says that.
Oh, is it?
My ex-wife did, yeah.
You know,
she
I
nailed
always
it.
wanted to ask you who did that sound.
My ex-wife, luckily I got it in divorce. She didn't bring it up. So I was like, please don't bring it up. And it didn't happen. So I was like, thank you.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, now
so
it's
how
not-
long have you used it?
Oh, since maybe like 5 years now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ever since I've known you, you've had that.
It's called a drop.
Yeah.
So I have a drop. She did it on a whim one day. I was like, hey, I need a drop. She said, okay. She said, DJ ALEXX. I was like, that's really good.
It's really good.
Yeah, and so I haven't changed it. It wasn't. I try to tell her, don't do anything like overly sexual. Just do it like to where it's cool. Because sometimes like you can't be like, DJ ALEXX. Like no, let's do it regular.
So those of you that are listening that aren't from Ellis County have no idea who DJ ALEXX is. So let's introduce him. He's obviously a DJ. He is number one DJ of Ellis County. Voted that way. How many times have you won that?
Yeah.
2 so far. I'm going for the 3rd one this year.
All right. I do vote for you every year.
Thank you.
So what he does is he's our local DJ around Ellis County, and you've really ventured out of Ellis County. I've seen you all over social media. And so he does karaoke shows, and he has a host of people that work for him, and he also does a local radio gig. So we just thought he'd be a really interesting person to talk to. He also is the one that had us on his radio gig. So if you remember us being on the radio a few weeks ago when we launched the podcast, or 2 months ago, I don't know. We've been doing this about 2 months.
Yeah.
It was DJ ALEXX that had us on there. So we're here to introduce y'all.
My show called Dirt Roundup on KBEC.
Can they find that off the radio? Like, how do they find it?
They can either go KBEC, it's 99.1 FM. I can't think of the other one right now. I'm going crazy. So yeah, 99.1 FM. 1190 AM, or you can just go online and look up KBEC. So
All right.
it's on there.
And so what nights are the shows?
My nights are on Wednesday from 7 to 8, and I also do the flea market on Saturday from 7 in the morning until 10 in the morning.
That's fun to listen to.
The flea market's my favorite, and Rick and I have been listening to it for years.
It is.
Before you started doing it.
I've only been doing it for like 5 years now. So
Yeah, and then whenever I told him I knew you when you started doing it, he was like, "Oh, you know him?" Oh, and I was like, I do know him.
I do know him.
And and I was like, because like we listen to you all the time.
it's weird when people come up and talk to me about that. It's
Really?
it's still real weird. I mean,
Because it's random people, isn't it?
It's random, but also a lot of people know me from DJing as well. So, yeah, you're DJ ALEXX. Like, yeah, how are you? It's good to see you. My wife rolls her eyes every time. All right, here we go.
Yeah. Well, tell people what the show on Sunday is, like what y'all do, because that is very small town USA.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's at the flea market. People call in and sell things anywhere from people sell cars, cigarettes, like old cigarette boxes.
Which I don't think that's even legal, but yeah.
Old cigarette boxes.
Oh, boxes, yeah.
What else? Oh man, pantyhose. Like you name it.
And the people call in, and this used to be fairly common back in the day. When I was a kid, they I think probably the same show I'm listening to, possibly.
It's the same one.
Okay. All right. Well, I've been listening to this my whole life. I thought maybe, okay. So basically people call in, and this is my interpretation. So this is acting Zada.
Here we go.
I sound very similar.
I can help you.
I sound very similar.
Good morning. You called the flea market. How can we help you?
Hi, this is Maylene.
Hey, Maylene, how can we help you today?
I'm having a garage sale today. I got some really good things, all kinds of little fixings.
All right. So can you give us 3 of those items, please?
Well, my Aunt Margie, one time, I was at her house, and she had about the prettiest little vase you've ever seen. It was ceramic, and I just had to have it. And she would not give it to me. And so like 20 years later, she passed, and I got that vase. And now I got it for sale. It's $5. Y'all come over here. You're going to love it. It's so pretty.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, what's your phone number? We asked for their phone number.
Yeah,
on
that's
air.
my favorite part.
My number's 276-354. My other number is 276-354. White chocolate. Give me a call.
Yes. It's pure enjoyment.
You're next on the
It's
flea
great.
market. It's awesome.
I love it. It's there's only one other show I've ever enjoyed as much, and I may have talked about it on the podcast. I feel like we've talked about it, but it's whenever I lived in Houston, my favorite radio station in Houston. It was a similar setup, but it was prison talk.
Oh my gosh.
So there's multiple prisons around Houston, like big, like prison, Texas prisons,
Makes
like,
sense.
So
Huntsville. Huntsville's
yes,
one of
yeah. All these, and there's tons of them. They're all over Houston. You would not believe how many prisons are in Houston.
It's kind of scary.
And and so they could hear this show and it was live every Sunday night, I think it was. And so you would call in and Bill be like, hey, this is for my son, John Robert. He's in the Cleburne residence, whatever the house. I just want to let you know that Grandpa's not going to make it this week. He's under the weather. And Julie, she made straight A's. She did real good. If we could just get her to get up and go to school, if you would write her about that, that'd be great. And then also for my brother, he is in a different unit.
Wow.
And it is over the top, and I could listen for hours to this show.
You know what? I used to think to myself when I was little, I have cousins that almost all my male cousins have been in prison. And so I always think, I think people want to go to prison.
Well, family reunion.
What's going on in prison that I'm
just-
missing out on?
I don't want to find
true.
out.
It feels like they really just want to. I'm like,
They want some ramen recipes.
yeah. Or that guy on YouTube talking about bussing and like making that stuff doesn't look good. I'm sorry.
No, it
It's
doesn't.
disgusting.
I have a coworker that went to prison, and she just served a short amount of time there, and she has the best prison stories. And she's so straight laced and wonderful, and you would never guess this woman spent time in prison. And I'll be like, tell me a ramen recipe. Like, what was your favorite? She'll be like, girl, let me tell you, I still make it sometimes. If I'm like, tell me this ridiculous.
Just takes me back.
I laugh every time. I'm just like, you are so funny. I've tried to get her to do this podcast. She can't give up all her secrets for people to know them.
I
It'd be
figured.
beautiful. But anyways, back to your radio. I totally see. This is the rabbit holes we go
They're
down.
fun. They're so much fun.
This
We just hop in and out.
Hey,
you know?
I enjoy those.
And bless her heart, she's just like trying to round me up.
She like Kelly's a professional. I was like, I had no idea she's like uber professional. I'm like,
Oh,
"Where'd you
yeah.
go, girl?"
I do not consider having my laptop and our reviews up and ready. And okay, I don't.
And the notebook,
professional.
the
And the
notebook that tells
notebook.
me what to say that I forget every week.
and the dry erase board to write important things that we need to. I also use this so if we are on a subject too long, I hold it up and I
She's the
start
real
erasing
producer.
it, and I'm like, we're done with this.
She's like, Zada, reel it in. Reel it in.
Professional.
We're not talking about blankets anymore.
And I'm just, I'm just over here talking until someone tells me to shut up.
I just don't want to go to prison. That's all.
Well, I hope that
Huntsville.
you don't.
No, I'm
I
way
want
too
you to.
delicate for prison. I'm not one of those type
You
of
would,
dudes.
yeah.
Wait, I'm not. I'm a super nice guy. I
You
like.
have soft hands.
Hey, I heard you. DJ. Yeah, I was a
I
DJ.
heard you got them DJ hands.
Yeah, come here. Come here, little chubby boy. Come here, little chubby boy. No,
Especially this time of year, it's getting cold.
Oh,
so they're
God.
like, they want
yeah.
somebody to cuddle up to.
come on, wear this dress. No, sir, leave me alone. I'm not made for prison. That's why I keep my nose super clean.
Yeah, well, that's a good
Super
plan. I would stick to that because based off what I was hearing, it's hard to get Grandpa to visit you. I mean, they got some problems going on that prison talk.
I'm good.
I don't know.
I'm good.
What's the funniest thing someone's called into that show? Is there anything in particular that really stands out?
Well, okay, so one day it's not going to sound funny to you guys. So one day we're doing this thing called
Great. This
it's
is
your
good
bid.
radio.
It's your bid, right? And so it's me, Boss Man, and it's also Ken Roberts, and we're sitting there. He's producing and like we calling him, and what happens is we sell stuff. Like we would say, "What's your bid?" Like we were bidding on a gift card to Chick-fil-A or something like that. Well, we had a gift card for a Dickey's barbecue, and someone called in. And she was like, I want some of that Dickies. It's so good and tasty and thick. And like she was describing it, but it literally was not intentionally sexual. I literally laughed so hard. The boss man started laughing. Ken started laughing. We laughed so hard we had to cut the commercial break. And what I mean, like it wasn't like it was like it was the wage. It was so innocent, but it was so graphic at the same time. Oh, I love that beef when it drips down. We lost it.
Oh my God.
Lost it. I remember I came back, my side hurt so bad. We had to catch our composure. We took like a 5-minute break. It was that funny. We could not help ourselves. It was hilarious.
Did she get her some Dickie's barbecue?
She got like 3 of them.
I bet people were asking her to dinner free. Just come with me.
Probably were.
I heard you got some Dickie's
Can you
barbecue.
tell me about that barbecue you had?
Yeah,
I'll buy you another car. You just tell me about it.
And she said something about like the sausage or something. And they were like, and that's when I was already laughing. And then Ken started laughing, and then Jim started laughing. And I kept holding my breath, and then when she did the sausage, it's so big. It was so big. And I was like, whoa.
It just burst in my mouth.
Yes, and it was so
juicy.
Everywhere.
the craziest thing. I was like, oh my God. So ever since then, like, it's just the funniest thing that ever happened there.
Okay, we did find it funny.
Yeah, I don't know how you did it. Think you were gonna find that funny.
I thought I was gonna get fired. Like that's how bad it was. We just all lost our minds. But that was fun.
So tell us more about the radio. Tell us a little bit about how you ended up doing what you're doing.
That's actually a question. I like to talk about that. So when I first got my radio job, I've never done radio a day in my life, ever. What I would do when I was a kid and even an adult, I would read like signs. I would say, Dickie's Barbecue, the great, I would do stuff like that to try, hey, that's really cool. One day I won an award. I won 40 under 40. So I don't know if you heard about that.
Yeah.
Top 40 under 40. So I won this award for being a DJ. And I was like, this is so cool. And I talked to my friend Stephanie Schaefer. And her name's Ray. Her last name is Ray now. I talked to her. She did radio. I was like, man, I've always wanted to do radio. She looked at me and says, why don't you just go to the station and apply? I was like, that's a good idea. And I was like, well, I'm really tired. Had gigs the other night. I'm really tired. So the award show was over. I'm like exhausted. I get in my car and I'm driving to 77. You know, 77, like where the McDonald's is and Chick-fil-A. So back then I lived on the left side. I had a choice between turning left and going home and going to sleep or turning right and going to the radio station. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go to the radio station. Right. Why not? Drove there. I mean, I was right in the middle lane. I just went over there. Walked in and said, hey, my name's DJ ALEXX. I've never done radio before. I'm looking for a radio job. He looked at me and says, it's weird that you're in here right now because the guy that's been here for like 30 years is leaving.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just like
timing,
that.
Right?
And he said, I said, well, I know this is who I am. I explained to him. He says, okay, fill out this application. I'm going to talk to Ken and see what he says. He talked to Ken about me. I get a call 2 days later. Hey, man, you want to come in? I'm like, okay. I mean, when I went nuts. I was like, I got scared.
Yeah, because you've never done it before.
I got scared. I was scared. Because I have dyslexia. So for me, like, it's not hard. I can read very well, but like, I get nervous.
Yeah, and then you add that together with dyslexia.
And it's radio. Yeah. So I was like, oh man, that's always been a big challenge for me. So I decided, I was like, I went to radio and he's okay. We met, talked. Oh, you're going to start on Saturday morning flea market. Great. Saturday morning flea market. You got to read the weather. Never read the weather.
Yeah.
Never read the weather.
So you go home and you're like practicing reading the weather.
Yeah. I practiced like 90 times. I was like, DJ ALEXX. I had to come up with a catchphrase, all those things like that. So come up with a good catchphrase. I get the weather.
What's your catchphrase? It's
really sunny. Good morning, Ellis County. This is your favorite DJ ALEXX here with the weather.
Oh yeah, look, you nailed it.
Yeah. Just like that. So just like that every time.
So even though I do the podcast, I sound like cornbread. We all know this. And Kelly over here sounds so perfectly put together. And I'm over there, hi, what y'all doing? Am I wrong?
I think it's a wonderful combination.
And so when I hear your voice, you have a really good voice, like Kelly has a really good voice. Like, and my friend Danny has done, he did the podcast with Al and I twice. And, he's just a buddy of mine. He's funny, so I had him on there, and he had such a good radio voice. So afterwards, like, damn, Danny, with the radio voice. His wife was like, yeah, I know, right? And I was like, here I am. I got a podcast, y'all. Come on, listen.
Yeah, but the thing is, you have to have a distinctive voice.
Yes.
You can have anyone can have a radio voice.
It's distinctive.
You have to have a distinctive voice that people recognize. And so, I have a for a short chocolate fella, like I have a pretty high voice. So I, when I talk to people, when they meet me, a perfect example. So I've got my job there. I'm there for about 6 months. I never did morning radio. They put me on I was on the morning radio show for like a year, which was one of the best experiences of my life. I love morning radio. I've always wanted to do it, so I did it. So one day, I wasn't here. I was at the grocery store. He says, "Your voice sounds." This guy comes to me. "Your voice sounds real familiar. Can I ask you a question?" He says, "Are you DJ ALEXX?" I said, "Yeah, I'm DJ ALEXX." He says, "Can I be honest with you?" I'm like, "Yeah, what's up, man?" He says, "I really thought you were a skinny white guy." That's what he said to me, and I was like, "Oh man, no problem."
This must be shocking to you.
Yeah, and I was like, I've gotten that all my life, so it doesn't bother me that much. I was like, that's cool,
At least I wasn't a skinny white girl.
Well, I've gotten that too. Sometimes, but I was like, yeah, I was cool. I was like, hey man, that's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, because like I said, the thing I learned about radio is they say radio, even podcast, it's he used to call it the theater of the mind.
Yeah, you picture something in your head, and
Exactly.
that's what it is. Yeah.
So Kelly may look like what's that lady's name that's really pretty? I'm a supermodel. Good supermodel. Oh, the lady from Blurred Lines. What's her name? Kelly Rumscott or something.
Emily.
Yes.
Blah, blah.
Exactly.
Her, yeah.
So you look like Jennifer Aniston. So it's what they think.
Yeah.
Right. We have a listener that listens, and she follows me on social media, and she commented when she started following me on Instagram, maybe 2 months ago ish. And when I just remember her comment, but she goes, "Oh, y'all are young."
What?
And I was like, "No, I'm old. You're good. I'm good. No, it's just a good picture, hon. No, I'm old. No, Kelly's young, but I'm still old. You're in your right element."
But the cool thing about radio and stuff,
Like she was disappointed.
Oh man.
there's no age range in radio. There's no age range. There's no really look.
Yeah.
It matters. Your energy has to come out with your voice. One thing I did learn is you have to smile when you talk. Like you're like, "Hey man, today's good. Hey man, today's good. How you doing?" It's like it's a reflection of your voice. It's how it comes out. I genuinely, to be honest, like when I'm on the radio, I'm naturally happy. Mm-hmm. I don't force myself. That's just who I am. It feels natural. So I feel very blessed to have the opportunity that, KBEC gave me. They didn't have to give me the opportunity.
Right.
Like just some short dude off the street, gave me a job. I've been there for 5 years. So it's like doing something right.
I love the story. I love the story. And when you told me the story when we visited you at the station, and you told me the story, I've told like 3 people this story already. Yeah. And I told Amy before you got here. She goes, "What are y'all going to talk to ALEXX about?" And I was like, "I want him to tell the story about how he ended up on the radio, because to me, you're not old, but you're not young.
42.
You know what I mean?
Same my age.
And people our age often are afraid to try anything new.
True.
And they're definitely afraid to go for dreams that they felt like they should have gone for a long time ago.
True.
And it's, I know that I get people say to me about being on the podcast that they think it's like funny, because they're like, "What made you decide to do this at your age?" Like, what, and they don't mean it rude. They mean it like this is cool. You know what I mean? But it's hard for some people to take that leap and to try something new. And, podcast is very much out of my element prior to me doing them. I didn't even listen to them.
But you did it.
And I did it, yeah. And I love doing it, and I've been enjoying doing it. And that's why I take from you is that you really got to do, you ended up getting a career out of something that you wanted to do. And not a lot of people get to do that. Kelly she didn't even have to have a career, but she's living like the life she wants to live. Oh yeah, with no career necessary. She's got a job, but you know what I mean. That's not how life circles.
That's a really good slogan for my life: is no career necessary.
Yeah, but the cool thing is that she's got a job, but her job is just like a sprinkle in her life. Is not what anything revolves around.
But the thing is, a lot of people like I said before. I'll be honest with you. Before I became a DJ and before I worked radio, I don't suffer from depression. I don't suffer from anything like that. But I always felt like there was something missing in my life. I felt like there was a hole in me. I was a musician from the age of 14 to 26. Even though I did work regular jobs, I didn't make any money at all. I was so broke as a musician, but I woke up every morning. I got to create music. I got to hang out with these particular dudes. We got to tour. We got to do all these things. I was so broke, but I was happy.
Yeah.
And the second I stopped doing music, I felt like there was this giant hole in me.
Yeah, your creative aspect.
It was gone. And so, is your one of your questions about how I became a DJ?
Yeah, it
Okay.
is.
We'll get to that. You cool with it?
Yeah, you can go ahead and go.
We want you to just talk.
Yeah, keep it on. Keep
All
on
right,
going.
so the day I became a DJ was I had my 30th birthday party. We threw it and we went to go rent karaoke equipment from this guy. And it was like, we paid him $250
Right.
to rent equipment, and we still had to get some of our own stuff. So I was like, this doesn't make any sense. So
Yeah.
we did that, and I was like, so this guy made $250 off of us
Just to use his
just to
equipment.
use equipment and bring it back to him. And I was
Right.
like, you know what?
I'm buying this shit.
Yeah. We started. We literally started that the next day. Started the next day. Me and our company was called All About Tonight. My ex-brother-in-law. We started it because we're musicians, so we know how to get stuff. So we figured it out, worked on it. The first year we had maybe our first wedding, we charged $200.
So you made. How much is a
Wow.
wedding? Yeah.
Yeah, how much do you
How much
charge
I
a wedding now?
Like 12.
Ah, I would imagine.
I charge 12.
Do you know how many weddings I've been to that he's been the DJ?
A lot.
It's I'm like, oh, it's Alex. Oh, look there, it's Alex. It's Alex.
Well, I mean, like I said, the thing is, my number one goal being a DJ, and I tell people all the time, is to get the first call. I worked really hard the past. We'll go back. We got to go back somewhere. So anyway, so
You go anywhere you want, Alex.
So we're with All About Tonight, and we're blowing up. Like, we're doing good. We're doing bridal shows. We're kicking butt. And then, like, at the time, like, I felt like I wasn't good enough yet. And so my ex-wife, and I'm not talking about it in a mean way, but she's an amazing woman. Like, I'm not being negative at all. She's awesome. Mm-hmm. So what happened is I took cues from her. And she was a very, very self-conscious person. Like, oh, I would never do that. And I would say, hey, maybe I should try this. No, I would never do that.
Right.
So I would take cues from her, seeing like she was like every woman.
Yeah.
And then one day I was like, you know what? Blank you. Like,
Yeah.
not out of respect. I said, you know what? I said, I'm going to do what I want to do, and I'm going to be me.
I had this same epiphany. This is exactly my life story. Exactly. And it was she knows this story. Like, I just shed a person, and I'm not even talking about shedding my ex-husband. I shed my old self because my old self was who he wanted me to be.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be who I wanted to be. And it was definitely not the life I was living, and not just career. And I wasn't doing drugs. I was Pollyanna. I was literally the Stepford wife to my ex-husband. I'm telling you, I made all good decisions, and I worked my ass off, and I was miserable. And that's the best way to put it. I was absolutely miserable. And so I take a lot from you that you've had that same little butterfly moment. I'd call it a butterfly moment.
A little bit, but like it wasn't like she didn't do anything wrong at all. It was just it was really more
it's what
me
you
than
take
her.
from that. I took from
was
him,
like, Yeah, so I took that, and I was like, and one day I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be me. And so literally I did that. I worked for her dad's company, and I remember like he fired me. He had to. It was all on me. And I told him, I said, thank you so much for firing me. He looked at me and says, you're good at this. He says, you're very good at what you do. Go out, do you.
Yeah.
And I promise you'll be successful. Ever since that day, so I really started doing it. I went on about 6 years ago now.
Yeah.
And I became the number one DJ after that. So after I was on my own, doing it on my own.
Yeah.
And people started recognizing me, seeing my face, and I started branding myself. And
I know you from, as a DJ, like I didn't know who you were before, and I was in the same scene.
Yep.
yeah.
Because I was working in a bar.
Yeah.
And
I loved her shorts back then. I remember she always wore those Daisy Dukes every time. I remember Zada was like, hey, Daisy, like, how you doing? I was like,
with my boots on.
little boots and Daisy. I was like, look at Zada.
I know.
Yeah.
I thought she was like 22.
I used to look younger than I do now.
No, she looks
I've
great.
aged.
I didn't know how old she was. I was like, I'm not getting her because I'm not going to jail.
I used to laugh all the time.
Jailbait running around.
When I worked there, I had this kid that came in one time, and it was his 21st birthday, and so his buddies were all buying him drinks, and they were all celebrating and everything. So I was serving them, and I said, he was going to wrap him around because everybody was buying him around. So he hands me his card, and the ID at the door. So I hadn't seen his actual ID. And so it was 21 and up. So he gives me his card, and I know his name. And I looked at him, and he's hitting on me all night. He's turning 21. I'm 42 at the time, maybe. And so all night long, just hitting on me. And I see his name, and I was like, oh my God, I used to change your diapers. I was like, you're my grandma's next door neighbor.
Oh my God.
And he was like, nuh-uh. I go, oh, yeah, no.
No, you did not.
He goes, what is your name? I said, Zada. There's no other Zadas.
Nope.
And he was like, oh, my God, you did change my diapers. I was like, yeah, so you need to stop hitting on me. I've already seen it all.
Oh my God!
He's like, it's a lot bigger now.
Whoa!
So I laughed so hard, and bless his heart, he was just. I said, I got a kid your age, and your dad used to always flirt with me.
Keep it in the
in
family.
an innocent way. He was married. He was just.
AKA
I was young.
AKA hot lady problem.
But yeah, no, it was really funny. That just reminded me because he really had no clue. I'm sure he thought I was a cougar, just not that quite.
We don't care as long as you're tall and fine.
It's
we
dark.
don't really
It's a
care.
bar. They can barely see me. Damn, that's why.
They can see you. They can see you. They don't care.
I
They
have
don't
had
care.
more instances where age does not matter than when it did matter. So
That's
I really
true.
don't see why people put so much on it because in my experience, it has never mattered.
Yeah.
It
Well,
has to matter because there's jail time.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to be real cautious.
Ever since I've been of age, it hasn't
Yes.
mattered.
They like people like that. How old are you again?
Yeah.
This is the first. Oh gosh, she's so hot. Who is she? I think she's 16, bro. That's every guy when you can tell.
Yeah.
You can tell when it's a good man. How old is she? 16. The first thing they go like this. They turn their
Yeah.
heads to the
Look
left.
away.
They
Just
look.
look
They
away.
look away and they walk.
Yeah.
That's
Smart
what
man.
they do.
That
That's
is
what
smart.
good men do. That's
what you gotta do.
The bad goes like, oh, for real, when she turned 18.
Yeah.
Those are the bad guys.
Yeah.
Regularly, he's like, I'm good.
We know all too well. We've had many episodes about that subject. Probably, women life. One of the things that we had talked about, and this actually kind of plays into what we were talking about. I was telling her, I was like, I wanted to talk about what happened to me when I didn't have a good work-life balance.
Oh.
And I think you just talking about you have your own business and you weren't doing what made you happy, whatever the case is. Kelly recently has made some changes in her work-life balance that go with it. And what made me think about it is that we're just really at this age now where, at my age, where people tend to either start peaking in their career, like they are about to just, be the best they've ever been. They've really worked for it, whatever the case is. Or they reach the point of fuck this.
Yeah.
And they disengage. And typically, I think it happens typically around 40.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And I mean, it varies. So my catapult moment was about 9 years ago. I had a stress-induced seizure.
Oh, wow.
So I was almost 40 because I'm almost 48 and, or I was 40. I was right about 40. And I was working at the bar and I was not working at the bar yet. Take that back. I was just working at my regular job and I was cleaning houses on the side because I wasn't getting child support at the time and it was definitely the most struggle financial I'd ever done. I took a pay cut because I couldn't travel anymore when I got divorced. I had to start over. And so I stayed in the same career, but a different aspect of the career. And I wasn't making as much money. So I was picking up side jobs, doing anything I could do to stay afloat. And I was exhausted. I was physically, mentally exhausted. I had a horrible job. My full-time job, horrible. My boss was horrible. Worst boss I've ever had in my life. And so I just was very stressed. So I have this stress-induced seizure. I'm on a date. It's like maybe my third date with Rick ever. And we don't know each other well. And we go to dinner and we don't have a drink at dinner. And then we go to the Rocket and we go inside and I start feeling flush. And so he says, I'm going to go to the bar and get us a drink. I said, I'm going to go to the restroom and kind of freshen up. Come out of there. I get in there and I realize there's a problem. Like, I don't know what the problem is, but there's about to be a problem. And I was feeling perfectly fine. And I've never had an anxiety attack prior to that. So I walk out of the bathroom. I look at Rick. I can't talk. I've lost the ability to talk already. I grab the bar. I look under my arm. Rick is staring at me like, what the hell's going on? He doesn't know me that well. I mean, kind of. But we've been dating, but not too serious. Yeah. So, and I look at him, but I can't talk. So he catches me, thankfully, because I'm in a dress. And so he picks me up and he's trying to revive me. By then I got the attention of everyone in the damn bar. And I'm sure they all thought I was drunk.
Or high.
Or something, know. And so he doesn't know what's going on. I can hear everything. I can't respond. So I'm in and out of consciousness, but I'm hearing them freak out. And they're asking Rick a million questions. Is she diabetic? Is she that? Christy is trying to shove orange juice down my throat. Everybody's trying to save me. And I didn't even know Christy either. I didn't work there yet. So I didn't know her very well. So I'm just like in and out. So finally, after about 15 minutes, I'm out of it enough that I can talk. And they're like, what is going on? I'm like, I have no clue what happened. I don't know, but get me to the hospital. So Rick gets me to the hospital, go to the hospital, get all these tests done, all this stuff hooked up to my head, trying to figure out what happened to me. I'd had a seizure. Only seizure I've ever had in my life, and it is stress-induced. So my doctor's like, here's your options. You're going to change careers, or you're going to get rid of the 4 kids. But you can't do both.
Can't do both. Nope.
This is going to kill you.
Bye, kids. I'm just kidding.
And like, seriously, you will die young if you continue to work the way you're working and doing what you're doing, and you need to get out of this. And I was like, got you. I'm on it. I changed careers. Completely changed careers. Started all over again. I was scared to death. And I now work 6 to 3, Monday through Friday, every holiday off. I get, I don't know.
Weekends off?
Every weekend off. I get every holiday, like, stupid time off. Like, I'm off for stupid. I'm always off, you know.
That's good.
My quality of life changed so dramatically, and it took so much stress off me that, you know, I don't have anxiety attacks anymore. I did have anxiety attacks for about 3 or 4 years after that. It took a while. In fact, the last one I had in front of Kelly. Mm-hmm. That was horrible.
We were in the car.
I was driving, by the way.
Driving a truck. It was not fun.
On the highway.
Thankfully, she didn't like pass out then, but we did have to stop.
I had to pull over and get out of the truck. Yeah. And we were in San Saba, and we were passing the ranch I lived on as a child. And Jambalaya had come on the radio, which is my song in life. That's by Hank Sr. Yes. And that is, my mom used to sing it to me like it was a lullaby. And it has a lot of meaning and to me and my whole family, you know. And so Jambalaya comes on the radio every time I pass that damn ranch. What are the chances that of all songs, I'm on the radio. I'm not talking Pandora. I'm talking a radio station. Okay.
Like terrestrial radio.
Yeah. Yes. And every time it's freaky, and no one believed me until they've now witnessed. So many people have witnessed it. Right. So that happened. The song came on. I'm passing the ranch. The next thing you know, I'm having to pull over. I can't breathe. My friends are in another vehicle. They pull over, think that I don't know what they thought.
I don't know what they thought.
I don't know what everyone was. And poor Kelly, once again, saving my ass, is like, I got it. I can't breathe. Yeah, good times. So, but work-life balance, that's what brought it too. Like, Kelly is so smart because at her age, she's 10 years ahead of me on this, because it took me being about 40 to get my shit together and realize I needed to be home more and more present. And if I had a dream, if I wanted to do something like podcasts, I had no time.
Yeah.
There was no time for me to be me. You know, if I wanted to have a girls' weekend, it wasn't happening because I was working every weekend. Yeah. So, yeah, it made a huge difference. And like, Kelly, tell them what you did, because she made a huge change.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm very big on therapy. A lot of times that's what I'm talking about on this podcast. And I have been just noticing that, you know, I was feeling very stressed and overworked, and people laugh at that because I work part-time anyways. But I do a lot though. My days are scheduled, a lot of them down to the hour. I'm like, go to this next place. I have like three changes of wardrobe in my car when I leave the house, because
she has a whole closet.
I'm doing 3 different things. You know, but I love it because I love everything that I do. But I overbook myself a lot because I want to help people. I can never tell anybody no. Yes, I'm going to be there. Yes, I'm going to do that. I'm a yes person. So I've been working on telling people no, and even my job. And I don't like doing that because I do work with the Boys and Girls Club and the Salvation Army, and we do a lot of really good in the community, and I don't want to be the person that's like, no, I'm sorry, I can't do that. But when it comes to your mental health, it's really important to speak up for what you need, and that can be the hardest thing to do because you feel like you are letting people down or you're not working to your full potential. But when you are sacrificing your mental health, you're really not doing yourself any favors. So I work 5 days a week. I work Monday through Friday, but I was doing so much, and during the week, I really needed more time. So I took off Wednesday, so I would have a day off in the middle of the week. So I'm not working Wednesdays anymore. And I took off Friday as well because I needed a longer weekend.
She did. Because she likes to go out Thursday. So
not even that, but I like to travel. I like all my family's like not close to me. And another really hard thing for me to do with my mental health is driving. I don't like to drive. And it really takes a lot out of me. Even just driving from my house into Waxahachie, which takes like 35 minutes, that's stress inducing for me because I'm having to operate the motor vehicle, and it's not good. I don't do well with operating motor vehicles. So I'm a good driver. It's
Kelly
just
didn't have
mentally
she had
lot.
a car. She chose not to use that car for how long?
It was probably 2 years that I had a driver.
So for 2 years, she always had a driver everywhere she went. And I'm talking, she didn't have a car. Like, she didn't keep the car with her.
No, I had a car. It was just in storage because
Yeah.
I wasn't using it because I didn't drive. I had a driver.
And so I'd be like, oh, do you want to go here? Yes. You can pick me up or let me get a ride.
Yeah, let me
and she
call my
always
driver.
would have a ride. It was so funny.
I wish I had
These old men in Ellis County were like, I will drive you anywhere you need to go, Kelly.
I have some good people in my life. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. That all drive.
I would no. I've always had to drive, so unfortunately, that was never a.
No, not yours.
Especially as the guy, like my wife's like, you gotta drive. I drove everywhere, so it doesn't bother me. It's relaxing for me. Driving is, especially the car I have now. I really enjoy that. That's fun.
I mean, did you even have a car when you moved out to that farm?
Yeah, I had a car.
Okay. I remember you having one. I just didn't know if you had it when you moved there.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Yeah. No, the first few years I knew her, she didn't drive.
That's awesome.
And I was like, you don't
And
drive?
I
don't
still,
drive.
right now I do because I'm really pushing myself too. Like, if I could have it my way, I wouldn't. I still wouldn't. But I'm always pushing myself to do better. I'm always trying to get to a better like level in my mental
Plus,
health.
she has to carry her closet around with her.
Yeah, that's
it's
another
really
thing.
more.
Drive me up the wall too.
It's very organized. No, she's like, oh wait, no, I got a different pair of shoes for that. Hang on.
Yeah.
No, you guys are right about the mental health thing. I mean, even with what I do, it's stressful. There's people that don't like me for no reason.
Yeah.
There's people that
Welcome to my world.
yeah, exactly. There's people.
There's a lot of them.
There's people that say things about me that flat out aren't true, and then
Same.
It's weird. It's like I guess this one guy, like this girl was telling me, she says, "This is for the KBEC thing." I was on the radio, and I guess she went to the store, and they were listening to KBC. And the guy was like, "I hate that guy. I can't stand him. He's so annoying." And I was like, "Really? That's weird." And then come to find out, my boss told me, he says, Take it as a good thing because he's still listening. I was like, you know what, you're right.
Yeah.
And then DJ wise, I get a lot of people just like, I get some people like just not liking me. Like, you're just this. This one guy recently said that what I do isn't right.
Oh.
He said the way I do things isn't right. And so my other friend was like, but look how busy this guy is. I don't even get I don't even catch a break. Like a DJ about six, 7. Matter of fact, in the month of October, my company had 50 events in 1 month.
That's crazy.
How many people do you have working for you?
So
How many DJs do you have?
DJ Giovanni just started his own business. G2, that dude's awesome. He was with me for about 2 years. Then I have DJ Candy. Then I also have DJ Blades and DJ Feelgood. We're trying to get another DJ on as well. So we got about 4 right now.
Oh, okay.
So it's the thing is they have to realize that it's a work in progress. It's not a situation where you come in and people like, people want to they want to be familiar with you.
Yeah.
Like they say, I know him. He's good. People are like, who's this guy? Because they don't know the thing about being a DJ. You can have a DJ come in and say, I'll give you an example. Say, all right, are you a DJ? I'm a DJ. But he may not be a wedding DJ. He may be a club DJ.
Yeah.
So you may have a club atmosphere when it's time for the certain parts of the wedding. Let's say you have a DJ that doesn't have any clean music and you're at a kid event.
Yeah.
It's like you have to find a balance. That's why I tell people I'm an event DJ. I'm not a club DJ. Like I can kill a bar. But I can also host a game show.
Yeah.
I can also do party games.
I've told you this before, but
Everything.
you probably don't remember this, but I've told you this before. The first time that I ever saw you DJ was at my kids' dance at their elementary school.
Yeah.
Really?
And it was the most fun fun school dance I've ever seen. Honestly, I don't know if you provided them or the school provided them, but they had the glow sticks.
I didn't bring those, yes. I'm not rich like that.
And do you remember this? It was
What school was it?
At Northside.
Oh, that was a long time ago. That was. I remember
Well,
that
my
was
son
fun.
is now a sophomore, and it was his maybe 2nd grade, 3rd grade, and his sister went, and she didn't go to school there, but I got her in, And every kid was dancing.
Oh, yeah.
Every single kid in that building was dancing, and they were getting their parents to dance. And I've never seen like 5th grade kids dancing with kindergartners and parents, and
That's so
everybody was dancing. I have video of it somewhere because I was like, this is the craziest shit I've ever seen. Well, this DJ is popping up in Northside.
The biggest key to do those types of things is too many adults and too many other DJs are too, like I said, concerned about what people think.
Yeah.
You know, I've always, as I do karaoke, so I've been DJing karaoke for a very long time. So if someone comes up to me, they say something like, I'll clear the room. I tell them that's not true. The worst singers in karaoke are the best singers because it gets people to do it.
Oh,
now,
yeah.
The thing is, what pisses me off is when I hear people come up to me, can you get them to not sing that song? I get super, super angry because I'm like, are you going to sing a song? Oh, no. I'm like, then shut the F up.
Yeah.
They can sing whatever they want.
It's like, you can complain all you want, but if you're not doing anything to get what you want to hear, I mean, that's out of anything in my job, I hate that because it's like you're downing someone else for doing something that's very, very hard, even if they're not good at it or not.
Right.
They're trying.
Yeah.
You don't even have the balls to even try it. And you
Yeah.
want to sit there and say so. It makes that irritates me to no end. It makes me so mad.
And does it happen very often?
No, not very often. Every once in a while it happens, but it's just it's insulting.
Yeah.
And it's like I remember one time I did an event and this woman told me, she says, you know, all the best DJs play the full song.
What?
I don't know any DJ that plays a full song.
Exactly, unless it's like a line
always-
dance.
So there's
goes
no
into
good
something.
DJs. That's what that means. There's none.
Yeah, so
'Cause none of them do that.
She's still searching for one.
Yeah, she said that to me, and I knew in my mind, I'm like, you don't really go out that much.
Yeah.
Like apparently you don't.
Yeah.
You get people like that, and they say it's like, look, or someone would say, oh man, I hate it when they play. And I look at them and say, okay, I want you to sit here for 4 hours, have a playlist for 4 hours,
Yeah.
entertain people 4 hours. Can you do that? What kind of people you have? Asian people here, you got black people here, you got young people here, you got white people here, you got all these mixed people. I have to entertain every single one of them. Can you do that?
You got to entertain grandma and grandson.
and it makes sure everyone has a good time.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you have to realize the job that a DJ does, and especially mine, I have to be versatile. I cannot be, hey guys, you know, I just play rap music. I can't play. I have to mix everything.
No,
Make
you're
sure
real
everyone
good
has
at
fun.
mixing. I would give you that.
I gotta make sure I have fun. Now, I mean, DJ Giovanni is a way better DJ than I am technically, but my job is to get people pumped up, get people going. So I'm a little different, but all I really care about is you have a good time. If you left the event and you had fun, and you smiled, I crack a joke. And another thing I've been very lucky about, like I know Kelly knows, I do it all the time. I crack jokes,
I love
harass people.
I love it.
No one's ever got mad at me.
Yeah.
That's good. I'm
Yes.
glad. Knock on wood. Here we go. Knock
Yeah.
on this table.
It's hard to get mad at the DJ because then you just look like a jerk.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, we've had some rough nights here.
That's funny.
We've had rough nights.
Well, I
We've had-
imagine you get some people drinking and misbehaving.
I think
Misbehaving.
the roughest night we had was the mic drop night. That was the worst night, but
Tell us about that.
oh lordy. So
I remember this on social media, him posting about it.
yeah, I was mad. So anyway, so what happened is I paid for my own mics. Like Alden owned the mics, or most DJs have their own mics. So what happened is I did a gig at another bar, and this kid comes on stage and he's doing Slipknot. I'm like, oh, he's killing it. I'm like, yeah, I did a good job. He jumps off the stage, throws the microphone in the air, and walks off stage, and it just drops.
Oh my goodness.
And this is like a 15-year-old kid. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, you can't do that.
I didn't know I could do that. Are you serious? Oh, I let him have it. I was so mad. It was like, I paid for these mics. It's my mics. So I was mad about that. Took a deep breath, let it go. Right?
Right.
That Friday came up here. DJing, everything's great. I mean, the night was on. It was packed. Night was on fire. Everyone's having a good time. It's so awesome. Lady sings her song. She's never sang with us before. She's never been here before. She gets done with her song. Boom. Mic drop. And some people don't realize, like, there's a difference between dropping the mic on mistake, because that happens all the time. That's no big deal. That's absolutely fine, because guess what? I mean, that's what's supposed to happen. They drop every once in a while. It's a mistake. Hey, no big deal. I got you.
And
Even if it
usually
breaks.
it's a fumble, so it's not going fast
But
or
when
hard.
You put it up high
And then you drop it,
to show
yeah.
out it's like, that's disrespect. So I let her have it. I was like, I was so mad. Security, called security out, got her kicked out, right? Calm down, party's vibing good, it's hot, it's fire. Woo! Everyone's having a good time. And it's like the energy was hot. Another lady, I've never seen this lady before in my life. She comes singing, blah, blah, gets the mic, boom, drops it.
What's up with
All,
these mic
all in
drops?
one night.
Did she see the other one, you think?
I don't think so. Or
What
she
is
wasn't-
wrong with these people?
Well, it is a thing. Like people, like it's a mic drop thing, and they've done so good.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like an artist at the end of their show, and they destroy their guitar. You can
Yeah, it's
drop
like
a
that.
mic when it's your mic.
And it's your mic.
You can destroy a guitar when it's your guitar.
Right.
Okay, when
Yeah,
that's
so
it.
exactly. So the issue was like, I lost it. It was like I lost it so bad, I overreacted. And I'll be honest with
yeah.
you. And I apologize to Al about it because I literally like, get her out of here.
Yeah.
Her husband started screaming at me. I'm like, no. I was like, blah, 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 cussing
Yeah.
and stuff. She's cussing at me.
Next
and I'm
day, you're
cussing
all
him.
over social media on
Yeah.
the local Waxahachie page.
DJ ALEXX, this is like, but the funny part is most people didn't really understand what was going on. They're like,
Yeah.
they're just reading something and like, what is this guy thinks is, it's like, no, you don't get it. It's like,
Yeah.
I've learned this. People that don't own anything, it's okay to destroy stuff because
Yeah.
guess what? It's not yours. You don't care.
Yeah.
So when they did that,
Well, on a microphone, that's for your livelihood.
exactly.
That's
And
how you make a living.
And other people have to sing too. That's really what it's mostly about. So if they'd have
It's like
broke those
stealing
two
a
mics-
man's toolbox.
Exactly. If they'd have broke those two mics, we had no mics for the night.
Yeah.
So it's like that's the big thing. So the show's over.
Yeah.
And it's and the situation is like Al talked to me about it. He's like, just calm down, be cool about it, which I understand it. But the cool part was this. So the guy's cussing me out, yelling at me, screaming at me, blah, 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 blah. Then the next day go online, people are trying to it was like the weird, you try to justify doing wrong.
Yeah.
That's what bothered me. Like you tried to justify saying I was wrong by overreacting about you breaking my stuff,
Yeah.
vandalizing my stuff
Yeah.
because of you wanted to. But if I went to your house and I did something to your car or something to your house, you would want to arrest me, put me in jail.
Right.
So I was very upset about it. My wife was writing, I was writing. Al had to shut it down.
Yeah.
So the cool part is this though. About 3 months later, I'm hanging out, forget about the whole thing. This lady comes in, I just want to apologize to you, ALEXX. I'm so sorry. I'm like, what? Who's this? I didn't remember what she said.
Yeah.
I was like, her husband came in, I'm so sorry. He gave me a hug. I'm like, hey man.
Oh, wow.
I'm very easy. You apologize to me, we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all you have to do. I mean, I
Takes a
forgive.
big person, especially when you probably wouldn't even know. Like they could have not.
Yeah.
They didn't have to do that.
Well, I mean, I'm a Christian. I believe you forgive 7 times 70, and I take forgiveness to the next level because I want to be forgiven.
Yeah.
Right.
And so most people live a life to where they're like, you know what, you do something wrong to me. It's like, no, you're human. I expect for you to mess up.
All right.
All you have to do is apologize and mean it. And me and you we're good. And so that's what they did. Like, we're cool now, no issues, and haven't had issues
I bet they
since.
haven't dropped it again.
No one's dropped it. No one's dropped it ever since then.
Drop
Yeah.
that mic.
But that's probably the only issue. I mean, but like people have fun. My favorite part about Al's is I call Al's my home. It's so diverse, and we have so many different people that come out, and it's like you ever go home and you're like sit on the couch, put your hands on the couch, head up and stuff. Like that's what Al's feels like to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just home.
Straight
It's
chilling.
like Cheers. It's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
show Cheers.
Love it. I love it
It
with
is
all
fun.
my heart. So
Yeah.
it's a good situation for me. I'm happy. But yeah, for the most part, being a DJ is one of the best things. Like, to be honest, so I've always wanted a Challenger. Like, I hate cars. I probably like Kelly. I don't care about cars. I don't care about them. It doesn't bother me. But when the Challenger came out, I was like, man,
That's a good looking car.
I always wanted one. I remember I wanted one so bad. And then one day, of course, I started making a lot more money. I was like, oh, wow, I've made more money DJing than I've had any job I've ever had.
Yeah.
And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to get a Challenger. So I made my ex-wife mad, though. It was my fault. I didn't feel bad. Okay, tell me how you feel this woman. So
All right.
I looked it up, and I was like, yeah, I got approved for one. Didn't tell her anything. And so I was like, all right, cool. So I went to go get it. And they approved me for it, and I put the money down for it. I had to go pick it up the next day. Didn't say anything to her about it. Drive home. My friend takes me to pick it up. I drive home. I go see my dad. My dad said, your wife's going to be so mad at you. I was like, I know. It's going to be great. So anyway,
Now, why are y'all divorced again? Lack of communication, maybe.
Our bank account's separate, so it doesn't make a difference.
Okay, well, that's
a
good.
different story. So anyways, and it was in my name. So I pull up, driving. She gets home from work. I look out the window. I'm upstairs, and she sits in her car for 30 minutes. 30 minutes.
Oh my
She
gosh.
sits in her car for 30 minutes. She's so mad,
Oh
and
my
she comes
God.
out, and I was like, she walked in.
Surprise.
She didn't say anything. She was like, "Oh man," but it's in my name. I paid for it, so it wasn't like a.
Well, I would have been excited for you.
She was, but the reason why I tell that story is because
She was driving a 1986 Corolla.
no, she driving a
No,
car.
kidding.
She just got a brand new car. But yeah, so the reason I tell that story, I drive that car because to me, I earned it by DJing.
Yeah.
I didn't earn it by working for someone. I didn't earn it by, just whatever. I earned it by doing what I love doing. That's why I put my name on the car. It's not because I'm trying to show off. It's because that's how I earned it.
Right.
So like this podcast, you guys earned it. You guys, you worked with Al for so long. Now you got your own thing. You're doing your own thing, and your name's on it. And a lot of people don't realize the importance of your name on something.
Right.
And that's why I did that. It's kind of like that's my trophy for working so hard to get to my point to do what I'm doing.
And that's why people have asked me, and when I told them I was doing this podcast, they were like, "Oh, you're leaving Al's." I was like, "No, this is totally different than the one I do with Al's because this is my baby. This is what I get to have creative control, and get to have Kelly have complete control." And so it's how we would do it. Whereas on Al's, it's fun, and I would do it that way too. But I'm already doing it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
So we wanted to do something
But
different.
that's lighthearted and funny and lots of laughs. Whereas this one, we're talking about life and relationships and feelings and age and
we do. We talk about
aging in general, not in a bad way. I mean, I might be talking aging from 18 to 21, but just in general growth as humans. Into different. We just change so much. You know?
And I wish more people would realize, like, if you're the same person you were when you were 18 and you're 42,
doing something wrong.
Yeah, it's not a good thing.
and you have the same mindset. Like I said, I think if more people and I'm bringing back to forgiveness again. I felt if more people would forgive and realize the things that they've done wrong more,
right,
I think we would have a way, way, way better world. That's just my personal outlook on it. So, I mean, I've had to forgive people for stuff that's like, I just had to, just for me.
Right, yeah.
I mean,
I've had to do both, where I've had to forgive myself and I've had to forgive people because we all mess up. And I think you have to be able to forgive yourself too. But,
you do.
And, but forgive other people as well for your own sanity. I mean, you can't be going around mad forever or being embarrassed because you behave badly forever. I mean, because it can go, again, you got to forgive yourself.
Yeah, well, unless you did something. There are certain things, I'll be honest, it's hard to come back from.
Well, obviously. Oh, look, Kelly's getting on her producer hat.
No, it's okay. Well, I want to go through a couple more questions for you. So
have to get to
we don't
work
have
in
to
a second.
necessarily rapid fire them. We got some time.
Let's do it.
I wanted to know if you had, going into the DJing, did you have a mentor or somebody that you studied under, or did you just do it?
Yeah, we had a guy named DJ Carl. DJ Carl showed us the ropes. That's the guy I got the stuff from.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, the equipment from. He showed us the ropes and, pretty much Ellis County, stuff like that. And I mean, I consider him my mentor.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he was good to us, took us under his wing. But we just like...
Yeah, it took off, yeah.
What I mean...
He's probably like, damn, I didn't know you're going to get all my weddings. I don't know why I'm always country when I go into DJ voice. I go full cornbread.
There's enough business for everybody. So...
Yeah.
I mean, we just blew up, and like the first year, like I said, we did 10. Next year, 20, and now I'm up to right now. God, if I add everything, I'd probably do 200 a year, 200 or more a year.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's most of the year. I work most of the year, so
yeah,
actually more than that.
It was hard to schedule you on the podcast.
See,
he was so busy we couldn't get him to pin down the time.
I'm supposed to be working right now as we speak.
Yeah, he's cheating on the clock.
Right now, yeah, DJ Candy's calling me right now.
Okay, well, you're welcome.
Special.
Yeah, we need to let you go.
We're good. No, we're good. I'm like,
yeah.
Only,
sorry, Candy.
She's like, I told her to open the door.
Yeah, she's scared. She's afraid everybody will see her through the microphones.
Yeah, probably so.
I said, open the door.
Give us
look, the door's opening, so she may be she's looking, she's waving.
Hi.
Okay,
so what's an idea of what your weekly schedule looks like?
Okay, so I'm off on Monday. Okay, I'm off on Monday. Nice. I also have another business, but that's something different. So anyways, I'm off on Monday. Al's on Tuesdays. Wednesdays, I have radio. I have my show radio. Thursdays, I have Rocket. Fridays, I have Al's. And Saturday, I have radio first thing in the morning. And then I have usually a show or two, sometimes 3 on Saturday. Wow. Then on Sunday, I have I have 2 gigs on Saturday, Sunday. Unit? Not. I can't think of it. 28.
So are those all with
28?
you? Are those all with you?
Yeah, all me.
Okay, so when you have other
And then
DJs,
else, yes.
but you have other DJs that work for you.
Yes.
So when people call them book, or is it like, well, if you want me, it's more?
Not yet. I'm gonna keep it real. Right?
Not
I haven't
yet.
done that yet, but it's.
I
getting to the
feel like
point-
that would be
Can they-
warranted. You're like the headliner.
It's getting to that point because I got.
Because you're in such demand.
This is how honest I am. I got a huge complaint about me not showing up to a gig.
Oh, yeah.
Massive complaint. This lady was irate at me so bad.
Yeah.
And she had every right to. I couldn't show up because I had to, I look at this. Al's is like my regular job.
Yeah.
And so I have to be here. It's
Right.
like, this is my regular job, regular paycheck. So this is my
The
job.
one we're keeping him from right now.
Exactly. What's up? Al's like,
Yeah, we're friends. Al and I go way back.
I mean, I'm about to start here.
BFFs.
Yes. Anyway, so that's my regular job, and so I had to make a decision. I had to do this or that. So I made a decision to be here, and so they were very upset with me. The other DJ killed it, destroyed it. When I mean he did good, he killed it. He did so good on the complaint. They're like, he did so good.
How dare him do that good?
But why was he here?
But you weren't here. So I was like, at first I was really upset, but then I started thinking about it. I was like, it's kind of like it's a backwards like applaud.
Yeah.
It's all kinds of backwards. It's a
Yeah.
compliment within a compliment if you look at it as a compliment.
Yeah, and they were so mad. They're like, oh, like you should be embarrassed yourself. I'm like, I'm sorry. Like I sent my best guy.
Yeah.
He killed it. He destroyed it.
Yeah.
And it's like, really? But I've learned in this business, like I've really tried to be at as many gigs as I can, but I'm only one person.
Right.
And it's weird. This thing about being a DJ that I hate the most. Everybody wants the same date.
Right.
Of
Oh my
course,
gosh. Yeah.
Everybody. Hey man, I got a gig on the 3rd. That's great. Okay, I can book you. Hey man, I got the gig on the 3rd. Okay. Hey man, it's like everyone has the same dates. I don't know why they do it that way. But
So, by the way, I meant to ask on the 3rd. I'm just, no, I'm kidding. I don't.
we're
I'm just
booked,
kidding.
We're booked.
Nerd.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay, my last question for you is a funny one because when we came on your show, we were talking to you about how we had just talked about love languages, and you kind of rolled your eyes and you were
yes.
like, love languages. I was like, oh, when we have you on, I'm going to ask what your love language is, and so I want to know, what is it that people do for you that makes you feel good, that you feel loved when they do this thing? What do you like?
Respect.
Respect.
I like respect. Of course, praise is. This is the thing about me. I get a lot of praise. A lot.
Yeah.
Like, I have a lot of people come up to me all the time, and that makes me feel good. I'm gonna give you a good example of that. So, a long time. This is probably about 5 years ago. I was at Fuzzy's. It was with my ex-wife, and this little white girl. She was probably about kindergarten or first grade. She just kept staring at me.
She probably saw you at Northside.
I don't know what happened. She was just staring at me. She just kept staring at me, and I was like, okay, this is kind of weird. She was smiling. I'm like, hey. She's like waving with that big old eyes and the smile. I'm like, this is really cool. Okay, so I went to go sit down and eat, and I'm eating, and my ex-wife sitting there, we're just talking. She comes up with her dad. Her dad's texting me, hey, man, my daughter really, really likes you, DJ ALEXX. She wants to take a picture with you. Is that cool? I was like, yeah, man, absolutely. I almost start bawling.
Oh my
God.
God.
Right there.
That is
Ball.
so
I
cute.
mean, that's such a small gesture, but like it's stuff like that happens. So another situation happened like that. So right when I got my divorce, like I remember I got my divorce, and I was like, even though I'm the one who left, as a man, it still hurts.
Yeah.
I don't care what anyone says. You can be big and brave. I got a divorce. I'm not happy about my divorce. It was bad. It was sad. I cried my eyes out. So anyways, I'm feeling lower than low, right? And so all of a sudden, when this little fan comes in and says, my daughter just wanted to come see you on her birthday. Aww. And that was the day I just felt the lowest. And I started crying my eyes out because I was like, just what I do sometimes is it seems so minor and so easy for me. But that day I needed her there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I remember that day she gave me a big old hug, and it really helped me that day. And I'm never really sad. I'm never upset. Yeah. That's my wife. I'm happy like 99.9% of the time. But that day, it's like God sent her to me. It was she never comes here. She hasn't been here back here since. She came here, and I was like, this is the weirdest thing. So I needed that. Yeah. So I feel blessed with what I do. I feel very lucky, very fortunate. I mean, I make very, very, very good money.
Yeah.
Very good money. But the money is not, I care more about, I've gotten awards for what I do. It just feels like I'm appreciated, and it feels like I'm here for a reason.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and you're getting to do what makes you happy. Yeah. And when something makes you happy, you put your soul into it more.
Yeah, you do. I do.
It's going back to the whole work thing we talked about earlier. When you get burnt out, you take your soul out of it. And once your soul's out of it, you're out of it.
It's
over.
How I felt when I worked at Aaron's. I felt like it took my soul away. I just, you're right. Certain jobs, like it's great to make money, but you feel like you're not alive anymore.
Right. Yeah. And like my job, I have a good job. It's a cushy little job. And I'm treated very well, and it's a great company. And I joke with them all the time. I have a huge management background, and when I came to the company, their plan was I was going to go into management, and I was like, no, I'm not.
You're never going to be home at that point.
And they were like, yeah, you will when you're ready, and I was like, I'm not gonna be. And so this has been going on for years. They've given up now. And every time someone new comes in that I train or I work with or whatever, and they'll be like, wow, you're really good at this. Why aren't you doing management? And I'm always like, oh, no. I'm at my point in life where I like to come in and we're going to, I'm going to take care of whatever I need to take care of. And about 9:30, we're going to start talking about what we're going to eat for lunch.
Yes.
And that's going to last for about an hour. We're going to talk about what we ate for dinner last night and how we prepared it. And then I'm going to go to lunch. Then I'm going to come back and I'm going to do what I need to do. I'm going to keep doing what I need to do. But then we're going to talk about what we're making for dinner that night.
Go home.
And then I'm going to go home and I'm not going to think about this job anymore.
But
that's clock out.
That is where I am in life.
But I also think that's the best part about being 40. Even my dad got in his 40s, his whole life changed. His outlook changed. Like my outlook is like, if you don't like me, that's you. Like right. If I'm not trying to hurt you, I'm not trying to do anything to you. If you don't like me, that's a you problem.
Right. And it's not even my business.
Yeah, it's not.
I don't even care.
Like,
yeah.
And it's like, I don't get why people are so concerned about other people's business and worry about, this and that. It's like, look, man, you have to, if it's not affecting my money and affecting my family, I don't care.
My mom always told me that because we got to quote Sherry Vaughn at least once on this show.
Yep.
My mom always told me that if everybody likes you, then you're doing something wrong. And you're not being true to yourself, because you can't be true to yourself and please everybody.
Nope.
And I do filter that in my head. It doesn't always work out, but I do filter in my head. I always think to myself, am I being true to myself right now? This is the right choice. This is what I want to do because I'm being true to myself. Why am I doing it? But I filter it that way every time because I don't want to filter it through. Is this going to make her happy? Is it going to make him happy? And you got to please some people, but you can't please so many people that you stop pleasing yourself. You do have to please some people. You can't be selfish all the time, but you got to keep in mind, is this selling my soul? Is this selling my future?
Yeah.
Whatever the case is,
You're right. A lot of everyone that's on my team right now understands that I'm the guy I'm the fall guy. Right. If there's any issues recently, I'm giving an example. So we had an issue with one of our DJs, not the ones I have. They're awesome. Yeah. I paid this guy to do a gig. My guys are great. Paid this outside guy to do a gig.
Yeah.
All right, man, I'll do it. I got you. He gives him a call. I told him not to call the customer. He calls the customer. Customer says, this guy's too old. I was like, what? Okay, fine. I told him not to call. Anyways, hey, I'm going to see you to this other gig. Okay, great. I sent him the money early. He goes, $300. I'm just going to, here's $300 cash. $300. Bam, right there.
Yeah.
For not doing anything yet. So anyways, he chooses not to go to the gig.
Oh.
Chooses not to go. Sends me, I'm adding a little bit more to it. He got on my case. I sent it through Cash App. And I'm being 100% honest. I'm not saying any names. He sent it through Cash App. And what happened is, he says, well, there's a fee. I was like, no one said anything about the fee. So I gave him $5 for the fee. Well, the other gig is further. Send him more money for that. Just to make sure the gig got done.
Yeah, you got to cover it.
Yeah, and well, not really. I mean, because it's like does your boss, do you pay for gas to go to work?
No, I'm saying you don't have to cover the gas. I'm like, you got to cover your gig.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
you already got paid for it, so whatever it is, it's like going to work.
Yeah.
So that the DJ chose, he was like, okay, so all of a sudden the next day the gig's about to happen. I get $145 back. I'm like, this is weird. Why'd you send me $145 back? Because I felt you weren't doing business right. I said, but I told you, I sent you another gig. I don't like it. Okay, where's the rest of the money? Well, it's for my fees. You didn't even leave the house.
Where's the contract?
Oh my god.
Fees on what contract?
There's no fees.
Exactly.
You're supposed to send me all the money back. He didn't.
Right.
He took $200 of the dollars.
Yeah.
That is insane.
And then on top of that said, a real businessman would work this thing out. This is what I told him. I said, you know what? Just keep it.
Yeah.
The point is, the reason why I tell the story, so many people.
He just paid for his own reputation.
Exactly. You're possibly destroying thousands for $200.
Yeah.
If you have a mindset of $200,
right,
that's fine. Guess what? My mindset is thousands. My mindset's hundreds of thousands. My mindset is to continue these gigs, to get the call every year, to make sure these gigs maintain and make sure everyone makes money. Because I'm not the only one I'm feeding. I'm feeding DJ Candy. I'm feeding DJ Phil. I'm feeding other DJs. Right. When I lose money, they lose money. So, but the thing is, in that case, I always have to take the hit for that. So that bothered me. Like that really, truly hurt me. That was a close personal DJ friend of mine that I thought that was a friend. It's like, you literally stole money out of my son's mouth.
Right.
Because of something that you really did, not me. You chose to, when I told you to do something, you chose to go the other way with it.
Yeah.
And so for me personally, like it's issues like that I have to deal with. But when you're on your own company, you have to take the L sometimes.
Yep. Well, and that's like, going into the podcasting thing, us having creative control also leaves us with,
we fit the bill.
We fit the bill. And people may not, I'm sure there's people that don't feel positive about it. There's some people, this is not their cup of tea. You know what I mean? And, you're aware of that. And it's like what you said, like if everyone likes you, we can't make everyone like us and be true to ourselves, And so being from a small town, I'll get rumblings from people I know, and they'll be like
rumblings.
Little butterflies will stop by and be like, oh yeah, so-and-so says, and it'll be like, they think I'm full of myself, or they think I post too much about, whatever the case is, little silly things. And my way of looking at it is, thanks for the attention.
There you go.
And the whole point is we want people talking about it. And so if it means you're talking about it that way, they're going to be like, I'm going to listen to this and see what
they're talking about.
And I mean, you got to take a little note out of Madonna's book and just keep people talking. And if it's a little negative on occasion, I'm okay with that.
I understand that.
And especially because I understand I'm a tough pill to swallow for some people.
I like you. I think you're you and Kelly. Kelly's a little spicy, but you're great.
She is a little spicy. I know. She is a little spicy.
On that note, I do have to get to work.
All right. You get over to work, and we're about to close it up anyway.
Thank you so much for joining.
Y'all come and see me after, okay?
I'm going to come sing. I sure am.
All right. I'll see y'all in a little bit.
Bye.
Thank you guys so much. DJ ALEXX out.
Out.
DJ ALEXX.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. How do you find you on Instagram?
Oh, yeah. Drop your stuff.
Oh, I'm just on Facebook. Just DJ ALEXX Events. I do have Instagram, and it got hacked.
Oh.
So I have no idea. Just look me up on Facebook at DJ ALEXX Events. And it looks like DJ Khaled with headphones.
Yeah. And it's Alex with 2 X's.
I love it.
Let's do it.
All right. And I guess that's the end of the podcast.
Yeah, I'm going to do our review real quick. We do have a new 5-star review up. And so I'd like to give a shout out to K Cook 9713 says, the best. Zada and Kelly are hilarious and I love listening to them. The guests they have had on are great as well. I highly recommend you check it out.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, K Cook. That was amazing.
I always get excited when I see them.
I do. I love checking.
I'm like, that's so sweet because I know that you take time to do that. That's not just a click of a button or just like a little heart.
Yeah, and you can do like a 5-star review and not write anything,
which is also a big deal.
Yeah,
because you have to log in to do that, and I don't log into anything. So I appreciate the fact that you do.
You gave us 5 stars, and you took the time to write us a little message, and it just melts our heart. I love it so much.
And if you want to send us a message
so if you want to send us an email, we love emails. Send us an email. We'll read it. You can send us questions. We can have you on. We can call you. So just send us an email. It is 2 Sides and the Truth podcast @outlook.com.
Yeah, and if you have an idea of someone to interview, if you know somebody you find interesting that you think we might want to interview, I am. We're all for interesting people.
Yeah.
And I have a few interesting people that will be joining us here in the next few episodes. So y'all come back and listen again.
Yeah. And you can look me up. I have Instagram, and it is Kelly Lady Pearl on Instagram.
And I'm Z Mamacita on Instagram. And I am Zada Owens, Zada, on Facebook. And if you follow me, it's like basically listen to me just ramble about my life.
But you're welcome to do that.
You're welcome to do that. Well, yeah. You can see about leather working that Rick is currently doing. And all the wreath I made, I'm domesticated. Y'all just follow along so you can see the most ridiculous domestication that's ever happened overnight.
And my just random post on Instagram.
Yeah, every once in a while Kelly gets a wild hair and there's a picture. And it's like amazing.
I'm trying to do better, man.
And I'm over there cross-eyed. Lord. All right, well, y'all, thanks for joining us.
Yes, we love you guys. And remember, there are always 3 sides to every story. 2 sides and the truth. Love you guys.